Diversity in Climatech. We aim to help create a more diverse and inclusive environment for women leaders who are changing the world. Chloe Capital is a movement-driven venture capital firm. We invest in women-led technology companies from all around the world. And tonight, we will be adding an environmental lens to our impact thesis by investing in at least one climate tech company. Now, the Chloe Capital team is proud to be headquartered in Ithaca, New York, in the heart of the Southern Tier, and we are guided by New York State's bold leading goals in climate. In addition to gaining access to incredible capital and connections at these programs, the Diversity in Climate Tech founders will continue to tap into resources at Cornell University's Center for Regional Economic Advancement, our partners over at We Cornell, and also at Black Entrepreneurs in Training, or BET. We are also so grateful to NYSERDA for recognizing that in order to address climate change, we need to have unique, diverse voices at the table, innovating together with a common goal. We have 5 women-led climate tech companies who are beginning their journey here today, who have been selected from hundreds of applicants to participate in tonight's Diversity in Climate Tech Showcase.
Something interesting that we noticed when we were screening all of these applicants were market trends. 1, they're raising more funds, and 2, they're generating more sales. So not only do these metrics indicate that Chloe Capital is being recognized by the masses and we're getting to pull in that quality deal flow, but also that these underrepresented founders are actually being seen by investors.
This cohort stands out because we're looking at founders with experience, founders that have gotten their hands dirty and found a niche in the market where their solution is needed. If you're talking about market fit, you're talking about product fit, you're talking about founder fit, Chloe Capital's portfolio has all of that. I'm really excited to stand alongside some of these amazing women who have just been building these enterprises, creating revenue and creating new ways of operating. I think that Chloe Capital has been really insightful about thinking about who needs catalytic capital and where they are in their company growth journey.
What makes this cohort really special as an investor is that we see a lot of deal flow, and particularly in the clean tech sector. Number one, it's really great to see these 5 companies led by phenomenal women, all attacking the issues of sustainability in different areas, from food to energy management to products and so forth. I think what makes this group different is their attack to market and the success that they've had up front already. We want to see more than just racial and gender diversity. We also want to see geographical diversity. And I think this cohort represents that.
I 100% believe that fundraising is all about relationships, whether you're a startup founder or you're an emerging fund manager. Women have a history of being overprepared and overqualified, yet underfunded. And traditionally, the areas in which we fundraise are at a golf course or a cigar shop. And these activities are not inclusive to busy CEOs who are also moms and caregivers. Why not build your own community like we did at Chloe Capital? It's a community that's very inclusive. It's seen throughout our collaborative due diligence process, our fundraising programs, and also by being able to tap into a global network of experienced mentors. And this is what makes Chloe Capital so unique.
Institutional investors are starting to look at emerging managers differently because they're realizing that in order to get access to the growth opportunities and financial returns of investing in women and BIPOC fund managers, the best way to do it is to invest early in emerging managers of smaller first-time funds. It is the biggest untapped opportunity in the investment world today. And it is folks like our institutional anchor investor, ECMC Group, who are leading the way for other institutions and who are seeing results.
On behalf of Cornell University, I want to welcome all of you to the first ever Diversity in Climate Tech program. First, hopefully not the last, because this event speaks to Cornell's ongoing commitment to support diverse leaders and to empower and support these leaders as they face significant and persistent challenges. It also speaks to the university's commitment to tackle climate change, not only on our campus, but statewide and globally, through research and innovation. Thank you to the leaders and entrepreneurs who have risen to the challenge. We are honored to be part of this program, and we are thrilled to support these entrepreneurs who may very well change the world with their climate tech innovations. Now, please join me in welcoming Catherine Cartini, co-founder and partner at Chloe Capital.
Despite recent progress, less than 2% of venture capital in the US goes to female founders. Yet studies show that female founders pull in more sales, they exit faster, and they produce more return on investment. And experts say that if men and women entrepreneurs were treated equally, that our global economy would receive a $5 trillion boost. Our mission is to reduce the gender and diversity gap in both entrepreneurship and venture capital. Someone who has been in the thick of it with us for several years now is the co-founder of Node Eco, Beck Chapin. Beck has come from Seattle to share a very special message, which is proving that Chloe Capital's business model is working. Thank you very much.
It's really exciting to be here with Chloe Capital in Ithaca, New York. I grew up in Connecticut. I'm living in Seattle now. So it kind of feels like almost a coming back to roots in a familiar landscape to do a really important thing, which is invest in women-run and non-binary run startups. It's been feeling awesome to support Chloe Capital because Lisa's introduced me to 1 million people and Kate's shouted from the rooftops everything we're doing, and Erica's always making sure that we're on track. And I think we all need that because if you can't get a huge chunk of funding right in the beginning, which is luck, then you need to stay alive long enough and you need a lot of support to do that, to really create the vision and build good business. I happen to know a handful of people in the room that are finalists, and they're not just like people I've met on the entrepreneur circuit, they're like some of the most intrepid entrepreneurs I've ever met. The people that I still think about, like who's got the most grit, who's gonna make this thing happen, who would I invest in if I had capital to invest? And Chloe Capital seems to always find those people. And it just makes it feel even more like the right thing and a really great chance to make big change in the world. I'm Beck Chapin, co-founder of Node. We build sustainable homes fast using our flat pack house assembly kit that's software enabled. And the goal is to really make sustainable building happen at scale for everybody, multiple income levels, multiple housing asset types. So over the last few years, we have been prototyping and testing flat pack kits. We are creating the parts and pieces that go together like Legos, really optimizing for deleting critical path items so that multiple things can happen at once. So this is why it matters, right? Like, okay, why do we get up in the morning? It's not to make money. I mean, money is great and we need it in this society, but it's really about making the world the place that we know it can be for me, and I know for my team. So how do we get to 500 million tons of carbon abatement from housing? It comes from carbon storage, which is everything from material selection for lower embodied carbon to monetizing long-term sequestration to make materials that don't pencil today actually pencil in our budgets. We've got enhanced building systems, which is everything from our kits to making it so that the labor that's local to the place is putting together the house so they're not driving and there's less of them, to building regulations and making sure that new building regulations come and the outdated ones go. And then urban infill, because that's actually the housing we need the most, and it is the most impactful to our carbon footprint. Locating housing near transit and jobs and services means that all together as an ecosystem, we're spending less carbon footprint, and it really matters. So we're hiring. We have real estate investments. We'd love to stay in touch. We're super proud to be a Chloe Capital company. It's amazing the movement that's being created here, and I've said multiple times today that this isn't about just us. It's not about what Chloe's doing. It's so much bigger, and we talk to Chloe Capital all the time. It's an amazing community here, and thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thank you so much, Beck. We are proud to have you as a champion in our portfolio. And we're looking forward to building the future of construction alongside Node.
A typical Chloe Capital program that's a part of our Invest in Women tour has two main goals. One, to get capital in the hands of underrepresented founders, and two is to highlight the resources that are local to that ecosystem. Each program starts off with an applicant pool of hundreds of women-led tech companies, and we narrowed it down to 5 cohort members that participate in the program. They go on to participate in a virtual accelerator that leads to a 48-hour in-person experience where we invest in at least one or more of those companies, and then we connect them with other co-investors that we bring in to raise even more capital. Then we're able to take those resources and broadcast them to our Invest in Women movement, which is now over 20,000 members.
What we really excel at is using an entrepreneurial mindset to tackle the challenges that all fund managers face when starting a new fund, including building the team and building the infrastructure for the companies, the manager, the fund, special purpose vehicles that we've used to build a track record, and the general partnership where we invest alongside the LPs and are incentivized to make high yield investment returns. We've bootstrapped, we've relied on our core team's abilities to get things done while partnering with experts who are also passionate about what we're collectively doing.
So just as we started our partnership with Node several years ago, now we have 5 women-led climate tech companies who are beginning their journey here today. Each founder has already undergone thorough due diligence by a panel of leaders in technology, finance, market research, and business. Based on merit and potential, Chloe Capital will invest in at least one of these companies tonight.
That's right. And to help catalyze capital, we have already performed very thorough due diligence on the companies, collecting those materials and sharing them with investors in the Chloe Capital community, including the 5 investor panelists that you see here tonight for the Diversity and Climate Tech program. Should the stars align, any one of these investors could make an investment tonight. But regardless what happens, the metrics show us that founders who participate in a Chloe Capital program go on to raise $2 million based on the visibility and the connections made by Chloe Capital. Thank you. So we've been workshopping all day, getting to know all the deals, and it's really time to move some capital to underrepresented founders as part of our movement.
Absolutely. And the investors who have joined our movement to invest in women tonight are Lou Schick, Director of Investments, Clean Energy Ventures, investing in technology that can reshape how we produce and consume energy. Neka Chibule, Senior VP of Aligned Climate Capital, investing with an ESG lens to generate impact alongside financial returns. Pia Sawhney, Partner and Head of Strategy, Armory Square Ventures, investing in regions traditionally overlooked by VCs. Taj Ahmad Eldridge, General Partner, Include Venture Partners, fund of funds for emerging managers and also direct investment vehicle. And Tom Bloom, angel investor with the New York Angels, also with the Clean Energy Venture Group.
Investors, thank you again for joining us tonight. We know that we've already performed due diligence. We had a great opportunity to meet the founders personally, and we powwowed this afternoon to share experiences with each other. Now the founders will pitch one final time, and you'll be able to ask your final questions.
I'm looking for the founders to show me that they've really thought through their solutions, their product rollout, and that it's grounded in the reality of the world that we live in, but also imaginative enough to scale in a monumental way. I'm really interested in presentations that show a roadmap that's achievable, but also exciting. Pitches that show thoughts around partnerships and stakeholders, and that people understand that they are operating in an ecosystem that extends outside of their particular startup.
What I'm looking for as an investor is there a connection from building a really great team and product that's there? We have always talked about how product market fit is one of the first things that companies need to do, but then you need to make sure you have a really great team to really make that thing expand and scale up. And so we're looking for an emphasis on the future growth, the future planning for these companies.
To the members in the audience, this is your opportunity to join our movement as well. So as the founders pitch, please be thinking, who do you know? How can you help? Now, it's time for Mainiko Ramirez, our Chief Experience Officer, to MC our first ever Diversity and Climate Tech Showcase.
time for that showcase. Is everyone ready? Yes. So our first founder is Dorit Lowson, president of Change Finance, which is a fintech company building performance-oriented investment products for ESG investors. Welcome, Dorit.
Thank you, Maniko. I am so delighted to be here tonight to introduce Change Finance, a fossil-free, carbon-neutral ESG asset manager for the 21st century. This opportunity, this program, was the first one where my company, Change Finance, was really a great fit. So we're really excited now to be formally a part of the Chloe Capital family. If we get this capital, it would be truly catalytic for us, coming at a perfect time as we are inking a major strategic partnership. This capital gives us the runway to bring that opportunity to fruition. It's been great getting to know the other finalists. I am looking forward to connecting with other investors who may have catalytic capital or other connections for us. We're in the interesting position of both raising capital for ourselves and raising the capital that we deploy to drive effective change. So we are really excited to explore that with Chloe and with the great network that they bring. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but sustainable investing is here. What was a niche market a decade ago is now the new normal. Globally, over $40 trillion in assets are invested with environmental, social, and governance criteria in mind. And that number is expected to continue growing rapidly. But when we started Change Finance 5 years ago, environmental, social, and governance investing as it was practiced was insufficient. So we improved it to invest in service to life. Our rigorous, conscious, rules-based methodology draws on the best sustainable thought leadership, including Kate Rayworth's Donut Economics, and our own Hunter Levin's groundbreaking work on natural capitalism and a finer future. We also recognize that our methodology would need to grow and evolve as new sustainability data became available and as the expectations for sustainable corporate leadership and sustainable investing changed over time. And we built it to do just that. In fact, I couldn't be more excited to share with you the latest development in our evolution. Change Finance is now carbon neutral. We have the first certified carbon neutral. We have the first certified carbon neutral exchange traded fund, and you are among the very first to know. That means, as of earlier this year, we have been sequestering 100% of the scope 1 and 2 carbon emissions that the companies we invest in through our investments are responsible for. And we've recently obtained a third-party certification validating our results. What's more, just like our friends here at Chloe Capital, we believe that you do well by doing good, and our performance supports that. In the 4 years since inception, our index has outperformed its benchmark, the S&P 500, by 11 percentage points. Our investors believe in us as well. Our assets are growing. If I'd been standing here a year ago, I'd have told you that the first critical track record milestone, 25 million in assets, was just around the corner. Today, we are approaching 100. Thank you. And we are finalizing a major strategic partnership. This new partner will bring to us world-class sales and marketing and a long list of established client relationships. We bring to the table our leadership in sustainable investing, our expertise in product development, and premier shareholder advocacy. So together, we have a potent recipe for success. And I'm here today to ask for introductions to family offices, to endowments, to pension funds, to other institutional investors who are ready to take the next step in their sustainable investing journey. So I hope you'll join us and invest in service to life. Thank you.
Fabulous. I've enjoyed getting to know you a little bit over the last day, and presentations exciting, compelling. I think it would be great if you could talk a little bit more about the growth path. I think that that's vital.
Yep, absolutely. So the partnership brings us an amazing sales and marketing team and established relationships that we can go into, but they need product. So we have one, a flagship product. It's been trading for 4 years next week. We have a second exchange traded fund that is through the regulatory process and ready to launch. And we have a team that is hungry for new product, and we have the ideas. So we are expecting to launch 2 to 4 new exchange-traded fund products a year over the next several years. And that creates real opportunity for net inflows and sets us up for huge growth over the coming years.
I'm curious, as an asset manager, what do exit opportunities look like for Change Finance?
That's a great question. So a traditional acquisition is very much in the cards. We have fielded 2 acquisition offers so far this year. Neither was the right fit, so we didn't take those offers, but they are on the table. There have been quite a few acquisitions in our space over the last 18 to 24 months, including some of the best-known names: Calvert Asset Management, Trillium Asset Management, Parnassus was acquired earlier this year, and also earlier stage companies in related spaces like Open Invest. So there's a lot of M&A activity happening, and we know the opportunities will be there for us in the future.
A lot of younger people are investing through Robinhood. Is your products going to be available to them?
They already are.
I own it.
Woo!
What is your ticker symbol of your ETF? I was looking at it.
Ticker is CHGX. Thanks, everybody.
Next, we have Lisa Altieri. She is the founder and CEO of Bright Action. Bright Action is a platform that makes it easy and fun for employees and community members to adapt climate change solutions. So please welcome Lisa Altieri. Woo!
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Altieri, CEO and founder of Bright Action. We're a Fitbit for climate solutions. I've had a commitment personally to make a difference on climate and help protect our beautiful planet for a long time. And so for me, this has been not a short road, but a long road of spending many years working to advocate for climate policy and seeing an opportunity to really make a difference and move climate solutions forward by empowering people and giving them agency to take action. I'm most excited today to meet the investors and everyone from the Chloe Capital community to connect and have great conversations, get to know everyone. I think the most important thing we can do as women is to support and empower other women. And so I really, really deeply appreciate the work that Chloe Capital does. Companies and cities are stepping up and setting bold goals on climate change and looking for innovative tools to move solutions forward. According to Yale Research, 2/3 of Americans, 215 million people, are worried about climate change and they want to help, but they don't know what to do. 40% of our greenhouse gas emissions in the US come from 5 basic household activities that we do every day. For the first time now, we have affordable, accessible solutions for all 5, and they can also save families money, from $1,000 to $3,000 or more per year. Bright Action is a data-driven climate solutions engagement platform. We make it simple, easy, and fun for employees and residents to learn about the solutions to climate change and take action. For companies, for employers, engaging employees on climate solutions is a powerful way to enhance company culture and enhance employee loyalty and retention and make an impact. For cities, on average, 40 to 60% of city community-wide emissions come from residential actions. So empowering residents on climate solutions is critical for cities to meet climate goals. Why Bright Action? The number one reason our customers choose us is our ability to measure impact. I spent a few years creating custom data models for CEOs and CFOs in Silicon Valley, and we have built the best-in-class carbon calculator out there. Our data model powers personalized results for users on both impact and savings. It tracks aggregate impact for our customers and our companies, and then it also powers gamification on the site to motivate action. We also create custom branded experiences and tailored engagement programs for each customer to meet their culture and their goals. And we're designed for user access. So we hook users up with tools and resources and everything they need to take action. Next up, product market. We're coming out of our pilot with over 30 paying customers and we're ready to scale. We project doubling our revenue this year and scaling to 1 million ARR within the next year. We're a software as a service, and we're about to add a product marketplace. Why us? Our team has deep and proven experience in product, sales, marketing, and engagement, and we're committed to empowering people on climate solutions. We're currently doing a seed round that we aim to close in November. For more information, please contact me for details.
Thank you, Lisa. This is really exciting. Thank you for working on this carbon calculator for all of us. I had a question about your go-to-market strategy and also your engagement on the platform. How have you been pursuing that, driving engagement, and then pursuing the go-to-market based on some of that success?
Right, absolutely. So our target market are companies, cities, organizations that have strong climate goals. Our product positioning, we have a very low cost to onboard and engage customers, and we're ready to scale. It's very easy to scale our product, so we can come in with a very low price that allows us to be in the category of what we call a no-brainer price. We talk to sustainability professionals. Our key customer markets are sustainability, social impact, or HR engagement managers. And when they see what we're doing, they're like, oh, wow, we need to do this, and you're coming in at a price that allows us to just move it into our programs with employees or customers. So our networks that we're looking to leverage for go-to-market, we have advisors that have deep connections across different spaces, university, company, and city networks. And then we also are going to be leveraging associations and industry organizations to do channel partners as well. And finally, our focus on our marketing right now, we just hired our first demand gen marketing professional, we hired our first salesperson just now, and our first customer success lead. And so we're going to be focusing on brand awareness and demand gen marketing to scale. And on the engagement side, we bring in my background, I have a background in business and data, but I also have a background in community organizing. And so we bring, and what sets us apart, a deep engagement model into our engagement programs with our customers. So we bring in a model where people are invited to come and learn about their agency and their ability to take action on climate together as a group. So we're not looking to reach people one at a time, but we bring people to come together and work in community with each other, to support each other and encourage each other to take action.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, for the presentation. Really appreciate it. Your experience in being a community activist, we think, is really important for this, and it resonates in what you've built. But the rest of the team, can you tell us about the background and more about the team and how you selected them and their qualities to help scale this company?
Absolutely. So our new head of sales is originally an engineer. She moved from engineering into sales, but she felt something was missing, and she really wanted to move into sales in the climate space. So she's really excited, and she's a proven sales track record. And then our demand gen marketer she specializes actually in setting up demand gen, very successful demand gen marketing programs for startups, and she has a track record of success at a number of companies, including Envoy. And then our customer success lead that's coming in to join us, she has a background working with businesses across different industries, doing very successful employee engagement programs, particularly around social impact and climate.
And I also saw you had a student employee from UCR where I used to teach, so yes, that also helps.
Awesome. Great.
Madison Savalo is the founder of Expedition Air. They are the producer of advanced solid additives derived from greenhouse emissions to use in consumer products. So welcome, Madison!
Hi everyone, my name is Madison Savalo. I am a co-founder of Expedition Air, where we're creating change using carbon emissions. So I'm from Calgary, Alberta, which is in Canada. So I've traveled quite a ways to get to this event, and it's just such a phenomenal group of women that are supporting other women that it was definitely worth the adventure to get here. I'm excited to share both our story about Expedition Air and what our mission is in reducing climate change. I'm also excited for the opportunity to meet the Chloe Capital team and the network that they've built. I think they have an incredible ecosystem around them, and to be a part of that is really phenomenal. If you took the weight of humanity and multiply it by 100 times, that is the amount of CO2 being released into the atmosphere every year. Historically, using captured CO2 in consumer products has been infeasible. Additionally, it is projected that by 2050, there will be more plastic bottles in the oceans than fish. This is often due to poor recyclability and performance challenges. Our solution offers CO2 embedded additives that improve the performance of polymers and are seamlessly integrated into the consumer product supply chain. We achieve these high-performing additives through a process that takes captured CO2 and sequesters it into solid powders such as recycled graphite. This is a single-step, low-energy carbon utilization process. Our signature additive is a CO2-embedded graphitic nanoplatelet that is a substitute for carbon black. Carbon black is created through the incomplete combustion of petroleum products. Not only is our additive cost-neutral, carbon-neutral, and non-toxic, but it also outperforms carbon black in polymers. We started creating consumer products back in 2019 to demystify the carbon utilization industry for the general public. Since then, we've created over 300 CO2 embedded materials, developed over 25 unique products with our partners, and had a major brand collaboration with Helly Hansen. We've been featured in the New York Times, BNN, Bloomberg, and The Guardian. Our products can also be found in one of the world's largest science museums. We wouldn't be where we are today without our partners. Most of our research has been completed at the universities of Calgary and Toronto and been funded through large grant organizations. More importantly, we've had over 15 corporate collaborations in the past year and a half, which has allowed us to showcase our material. We will achieve our revenue targets through deployment of modular automated carbon utilization reactors, in addition to the direct sales of our additives. Major brand partnerships are an essential vehicle to achieving these goals. We are currently seeking funding to deploy our first modular reactor. We plan to own and operate this reactor to meet the current demand for our direct sales of our additives. We will then lease future reactors so that product manufacturers have these additives available as they need them. We have an ambitious founding team with a mission to bring better performing CO2 sequestered materials to consumers. Where we don't have internal capacity, we've built up a team of partners, advisors, and consultants that are allowing us to realize this vision. Thank you.
So Madison, great presentation. Tell us a little more about, does the company have proprietary IP? And then secondly, how did you pick the name Expedition Air?
Great questions. So the IP right now, the process patent is held by Carbon Upcycling Technologies, which is the parent company we're currently spinning out of. We will be filing patents, however, for the modular automated reactors and future product patents as well for different formulations. In terms of Expedition Air, we really feel that this is a journey. We want consumers to know that every product they interact with can enable a low carbon future. And so we're all in this expedition or this journey together to make sure that we're enabling that future.
We've talked before. It's great to see what you're doing here. I wanted to give you a chance to talk a little bit more about the environmental impact. I know that you've been demonstrating in consumer products, and there's a concern, well, that's not very much stuff. So can you talk a little bit about the environmental impact of the material, both now and how you see it going?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have an e-commerce site, and we know that buying a set of crayons with captured carbon is not going to change the world substantially in any way. But it's the replacement of carbon black, which is a very carbon-intensive material that allows us to have a very large impact in reducing carbon emissions. We do also sequester CO2 directly into our additives, so that's a permanent sequestration. And then the third piece also is that because of the performance benefits of our additives, and when we load these into different plastic materials, we create a stronger additive. Even a 2% dosage can result in 40% strength increase. So a product designer can now reduce the amount of plastic that they're using. This also affects the recyclability and allows these materials in plastic not to degrade quite as fast. So it keeps those plastic in the society a little bit longer.
Next up to the stage is Martha Montoya. She is the founder and CEO of Ag Tools, which is a financial intelligence platform for the global food and agriculture supply chain. Please welcome Martha.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Martha Montoya, and through my little character, Jari, we're going to introduce you to why this financial tool is going to be able to help us save some of the carbon footprint that we are living.
In the farming world, the one who really runs the farm is the woman, the wife, the mother, the daughter. You can ask any farmer in Iowa or in Vietnam. And the guy's driving the truck, but the one making the financial decisions in the back door is the woman. So the fact that we're starting to have that conversation that let's empower the women with data so she can manage better her husband, father, or brother to manage better the farm and therefore our natural resources. I'm really excited to be part of this whole ecosystem of women, clean tech, that we're able to bring these ideas that maybe we have been overlooked, but that we know how to run. And so hopefully it will be many of us in the ecosystem.
We have multi-year contracts already with multinationals, which is helping us increase, as of even last week, 748K ARR. And so let me walk you through it, because how is it that we're growing so fast?
From farm to table, there's 76 variables that impact at any time our supply chain. Remember that number? That's what impacts you in the supermarket not being able to have fruit or vegetables. Imagine you get up in the morning and you're ready to get out in your day and you have no idea what's going on, no weather, no traffic, nothing. Well, that's what happens to the farmers. The farmers have no data. They just go to the farm and they just hope that the market is going to behave for them. But guess what? It's the same thing for the supplier, the buyers, supermarket buyers. They have no data. They just go with whatever is going on. So it's impacting all of us. It's impacting the farmer, it's impacting the buyer, the lender, the insurance companies, and that creates the carbon footprint that we see around the world. And I invented what is called now the Bloomberg of the industry, which is a dashboard. It's not a trading platform. It's information that everybody can grab and then make decisions around it. So we grab data from government entities, our own data from the plants and fruits and vegetables around the world and their varieties, and then we put them in the hands of a farmer or a buyer, the two extremes of the supply chain. And who are our customers? From the little farmer to the medium farmer, to the aggregator farmer, to the buyer. And our sweet spot is the large farmer right now and the buyers. We have 154 users, we have growing our business, and more importantly, we have a retention that is crazy, but we hold them very tight, and they don't go. I don't let them go. And so organic growth, the buyers are asking the suppliers to make sure that they get enough tools. The farmers are asking to get everybody involved in the system, so we're organically growing the company. And we're focused on the Americas, which I call the salad bowl of the world. And between farmers, buyers, we have over 5.6 billion. We can concentrate on this industry, on this area. When we created the tool, it was for the specialty crops. But now it's for the, we knew it was going to be for the whole, when you walk into the supermarket, for everyone on there. And we know that because our customers like the Chipotles, like the Taco Bells, like the food or the Doles are already asking for it. And so now, as you could see the growth, we're now going in the hockey stick famous that I never understood before, and now I understand. It goes up very fast. Here are projections, and apparently we have competition, but the competition is the status quo. People calling each other and bugging each other to find out what's the data. So we're solving that problem. Our team is fabulous, and obviously industry knowledge, 30 years of myself being around the world and the industry. And with that, we have a patent pending technology, which took us a couple of years to research, and we have experienced team and obviously customers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martha. I am amazed by how much information you were able to get through in a very, very short amount of time. But I'm actually really curious about the waste that you're talking about and your technology. And if you could give some examples about how AgTools product has really directly impacted the grid or the emissions and things like that.
So a broccoli, the largest broccoli supplier in the world, now plants around the market. They see what has happened in the last 25 years in the market, and then they plant to harvest at the right time so they can put trucks, full trucks loaded to get into the market. Or a Chipotle, which buys the avocado, no longer just buys whenever. They can see productions and movements of the market, and they can go and buy when there's more avocados, helping farmers, which is more important, and then also making sure that they load the trucks completely, and then we don't cut more trees to produce avocados when nobody needs the avocados. More or less, those are case studies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. I had a question, just two short questions about your growth strategy and customer acquisition costs. So if you could outline where you project the company, how and the company will grow, and how you would characterize your cost of attaining each new customer.
Two growths. The first growth is the farmer, and the other one is the buyer. On the buyer side of it, because they are using the tool, they are asking the suppliers to now engage themselves with the tool. So they're enticing them, for lack of a word, to buy the tool. So that's organic growth. On the farmer side of it, I always had this theory which is starting to work. The largest telecommunications company in the Americas had just signed with us. We acquire customers through telecommunications in the phone, which is where the farmers are. Those are two extremes. In between there are some, but those are the two biggest growth that we see coming in. And the contracts that we have with them, all of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Celisa Darian is the founder and CEO of COI Energy, which is a digital energy management platform that detects and eliminates energy waste in buildings and repurposes the waste for good. Welcome, Celisa!
Good evening. My name is Celisa Berrien, and I am the founder and CEO of COI Energy. We're a digital energy management platform that detects and eliminates energy waste in buildings, and we repurpose that waste for good. I arrived at Chloe Capital because of Elisa. I met her a couple years ago and just love the journey that she's been on. She's really been a true advocate for women, and she really helped me get plugged into the ecosystem and kind of really exposed me to other ways that we could be making an impact in the climate space. It is a long journey, and to have advocates and supporters and champions really goes a long way for female founders, and more specifically for Black founders, as we all know the numbers and the statistics and what they look like. So being a part of this cohort means a lot to me. Imagine living in a world, in a home with no lights, no hot water, and no heat. That was my experience growing up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. That leads to no dignity. That has really given life to my purpose. So the problem that we're working to solve is, as you can see, and many of us know this, buildings waste 30% of the energy they consume. That's over 300 million metric tons of carbon being emitted into our environment every year. In addition to that, that's $55 billion just being thrown out the window. The little Celisa Berrien that grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, I know what we can do with that money. We can repurpose it for good. We call that KW for good. And basically what we're doing is we're helping optimize the electric grid, so helping to balance the grid with the inefficiencies that were happening in buildings. We're reducing the carbon footprint in buildings. We're also repurposing that waste to help underserved communities, like the community I grew up in, by giving them equitable access to clean energy solutions. And as you can see, 1 in 3 families, my family wasn't alone. We live in this country, they experience energy burden. So it's a real thing, and if we're gonna solve the climate crisis we're in, it's gonna take everybody to be in this together, so every portion of the ecosystem. So those that are experiencing energy burden, we gotta figure out a way to help lift that community up as well, so we can solve this problem. Electric grids, we all experience it. So when I asked, did anyone, did you ever grow up with no lights on? I know we've experienced it probably this summer. In New York City, in California, in Texas, earlier this year. So the digital energy management platform that we have, it really helps eliminate energy waste in these buildings. It solves the problem. It's a holistic approach to demand management. How we do it, we install a gateway at buildings, and it pulls this information. We give the businesses insights, and then we give them control in order to make those changes. It's a simple platform and a simple business model that we use. It's a one-time activation fee and a monthly subscription that the businesses pay, and we meet them where they're at. They can say, I want no frills, a package, or I want premium package in order to participate in this. We have over 350 customers. We signed 2 major contracts this year that are multi-million-dollar contracts, one with Con Ed for $34 million, and CPS, which one of the largest senior care living communities with over 4,000 communities. We have an amazing team. We have over 100 years of experience just on the team, and we're positioned really to solve this problem, and we're looking for partners to help us do that. So help us come and create a more climate-friendly economy for our children's children to live, work, play, and thrive. Thank you.
So Lisa, thank you for what you've built. I think we have to be reminded a lot when we're providing solutions for climate, it's not just $100,000 Teslas for those of us that can afford it. It's for communities like you're impacting, so thank you. The question I have is that, what do you think makes your company qualified to solve this problem that we have in front of us?
So as I mentioned, my team is amazing. We have over 100 years of experience with my team working in energy. I personally have 25 years experience working, starting on the utility side, investor-owned utilities, to working at 4 clean tech startups before starting COI Energy.
So there are a lot of companies already providing services to building owners regarding energy. How do you fit into what is already there? Why are they picking your company? And then how is this industry going to evolve over the next 5 or 10 years? And how will you take advantage of that?
Thank you. So we're meeting customers where they're at. So clearly, the last 20 years, we've had services that utilities had offered to get customers to really be more efficient. They've only had a 10% penetration rate. By 2025, utilities need to have 35% of behind-the-meter resources to help balance the grid because of growth and everything that we're experiencing with climate change and all. And so to get there, it took 20 years to get to 10%. You're gonna need to do something different to get to that 35% in the next 4 years. And COI Energy provides a simple solution, it's cost-effective, and it meets customers where they're at. And that's the biggest issue that customers have had. We come with these programs and it doesn't meet them where they're at. And then where the industry is going, we've built a platform, so we have our patent just got approved for our process. So look us up. Super excited about that. But in 5 years, you're gonna be buying energy from each other. So with our platform, we're building it out where it's a peer-to-peer platform where a business can sell their excess capacity, their flexibility to other businesses. They can sell it to the electric grid. They can sell it to their utility. They can actually share it within their own portfolio of buildings. So peer-to-peer is the next place. And what that does, it really optimizes everything, and it makes people become more energy efficient because now I can make money off of inefficiency.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good job, you all are amazing. Next, we have a special treat, so welcome Andrea!
first off, I just want to say thank you all so much for your leadership and your game-changing technologies. You all are so brilliant and could do anything, and you do climate tech to make a difference in the world. So truly, thank you for what you're doing. Wonderful. And CREA is beyond proud to partner with Chloe Capital and the amazing stakeholders here on diversity and climate tech. I just want to give you a quick background on what CREA is. So CREA is a portfolio of programs that help support entrepreneurs and the startup community here at Cornell and in the region and beyond.
My work at the Cornell Center for Regional Economic Advancement is training and arming STEM women with the skills they need to start their own venture. And this year, we're very focused on climate technologies in particular. So giving them those foundational entrepreneurship skills, arming them with different resources such as mentorship, also where to go to get access to capital, and then giving them a platform to share their innovation, iterate upon it, and then take it to the next level.
And we'd love to collaborate and partner with all of you. So thank you so much for being here, for supporting these amazing founders. And with that, we have a very special announcement. So I've always wanted to say this. Please roll the video. Woohoo!
Thanks so much for having me. I'm Gretchen Carlson. I am a journalist, an author, a podcaster, and I'm also the co-founder of Lift Our Voices, which is my nonprofit that seeks to eradicate the two silencing mechanisms in workplace contracts that hold women, people of color, the LGBTQ community back from being able to be their best in the workplace with regard to harassment, gender, race discrimination, et cetera. So it's just about 5 years ago that I found the courage to jump off the cliff and sue Roger Ailes at Fox News for harassment, having no idea that I would help to ignite this explosive movement that we're in right now.
Hey, welcome to Full Circle. I'm Anderson Cooper. Tonight, I'm talking to journalist, author, and advocate for workplace equality, Gretchen Carlson. As you know, Gretchen Carlson began in television at a local news station in Richmond, Virginia, eventually becoming a household name. She was also Miss America there. On July 6, 2016, Ms. Carlson sued Roger Ailes, the founder and then chairman and CEO of Fox News, for sexual harassment after being removed from her 2 p.m. newscast, The Real Story, in June of 2016. The lawsuit alleged she was terminated for, quote, refusing Ailes' sexual advances. After initially denying the allegation, the Fox News founder was eventually pushed out after investigators brought in from an outside firm spoke to more than 20 women about his inappropriate behavior. Carlson and 21st Century Fox agreed to a $20 million settlement that also included a non-disclosure agreement that bars her from discussing what happened specifically to her at Fox News. The network also issued a public apology.
Really, the genesis of a lot of my work was that I started hearing from thousands of women across our country who had been in similar situations and realized that harassment in the workplace was a pervasive epidemic. And so I first wrote my book, Be Fierce, as a tribute to all of those women, because quite honestly, nobody ever cared about them before, and they have never, ever gotten justice. We believe at Lift Our Voices that eradicating forced arbitration and the kind of NDAs we're talking about, that is the silver bullet, not only to the beginning of solving harassment and other discrimination in the workplace, but equity in general. Because we believe that if you are a company and you're a CEO and you believe that it's okay to silence your people and cover up your dirty laundry, then you probably are not a progressive kind of company that believes in paying your people fairly either, or promoting women and people of color and putting them in the boardroom. So we really believe that this is at the heart of getting to equity in general. I just want to do some shout outs to some people who are making massive change and doing the right thing. So what Dorrit Lawson is doing at Change Finance to shift financial equality is so impressive. I also believe that, investing for good can profit people, planet, and investors, and we can do this by transforming our capital markets. Community is also just a huge and powerful part of this. So Lisa Altieri has tapped into this by creating a platform that helps companies and cities empower people to take action towards climate change. Bright action is a needed resource. I love the idea that Expedition Air was founded on. Every product a consumer interacts with should enable a low carbon future, from the clothes we wear to even avocados. Madison Savelau is heading in the right direction there. And then you have somebody like Martha Montoya, who has created a worldwide financial intelligence platform. Ag tools, let's face it, it's a disruptor for the food and agriculture industry. This data will reduce carbon emissions across the entire supply chain. And Salisa Berrien, reducing energy waste in buildings using real-time insights. COI Energy can improve efficiency and reduce emissions. So she's truly on the forefront of helping businesses adopt clean energy technologies. I'll just end with my favorite quote, which happens to be anonymous, which is, "One woman can make a difference, but together we rock the world." And that's what we're doing right now, ladies. I mean, we are here and our voices are being heard and we're making change all across the board. Who would have ever known that we would be in this moment in time? But I've decided that I'm taking full advantage of it. And I know that all of you are as well. So let's all be inspired by that quote and know that individually we make a difference, but when we come together, that's really when we make change.
Was that? Not only do we get to partner with NYSERDA and Cornell University, but to have somebody like Gretchen Carlson give us those very important shout outs for all of our founders.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
Now, as part of our movement to invest in women, members actively help founders beyond just writing a check.
The value of Chloe Capital's portfolio has doubled since we launched our impact fund just a year ago, and we are only just now getting started. We already have 2 exciting mergers that have taken place that have led to some of our portfolio companies dramatically increasing in value and also securing strategic partnerships that will help them scale rapidly in the coming months. Furthermore, some of our seed stage companies have already started generating millions in revenue, and they are gearing up for Series A rounds. So it is a very, very exciting time.
Investing in emerging markets like telehealth or climate change can be riskier because these founders are forging their own path while validating their solutions and educating the market. But therein lies the reward, both in relation to financial return, but also the impact we can have on people and planet. We believe investors can do well by doing good, and we hope that our progress at Chloe Capital acts as a beacon for others.
We hope that while these founders were pitching, you were also thinking about how you can help, and we'll connect with these founders after the showcase.
And some businesses have already stepped up to offer free and discounted services to all of the participants in the program. And that includes our friends over at Visions Federal Credit Union. They'll be providing a free financial consultation and checkup for each of the founders. And our friends over at HubSpot, who offer 90% off their sales, marketing, and operations platform. So now it's time to raise our glasses of no place like home because we got some investing to do.
That's right.
Good, so Gabby.
So Chloe Capital has decided to make more than one investment tonight.
That's true, and I think I'll just kick it off. Our first investment of the evening will be in Dorrit Lawson from Change Finance.
This capital coming in when it does gives us the opportunity to finalize a major strategic partnership we are working on right now. Having this money in the door today gives us the time and the space to make sure that that partnership goes as smoothly and as well as it possibly can so that it accelerates our growth.
We'd also like to extend an investment to Salisa Berrien.
We will be using those funds to hire. Right now, what our real focus is on just gaining more traction. So we're hiring salespeople. We're also hiring customer success. Right now we have 0% churn, so we're trying to keep it there. And so customer success and sales are really important for us right now.
Congratulations, ladies. Welcome to the Chloe Capital community. But we have decided to make a third investment because we plan on helping these founders beyond writing a check. And our third investment of the evening is
Martha Montoya from AgTools.
And that's the movement in
this award feels really refreshing. Chloe is giving us the seed round for this next wave of investment that we're in the process, and so that's the beauty of it. It's more than the capital to using the normal things, hiring people, but it's the seed capital on a track that we have been trying to get in.
Chloe Capital is headed to Pittsburgh next in partnership with the Richard King Mellon Foundation and Ascender.
Applications are open. Please go to chloecapital.com funding, and we'll be holding an information session in January.
Thank you again for joining us here in person, or for those of you joining at home, thank you so much. That is officially a wrap on Diversity in Climatech 2021. Thank you.
I want to thank the Chloe Capital team for not just the support that they've given us, but the ecosystem that they are creating around the country. I want to thank them for recognizing underserved founders and bringing us the catalytic support that we need to succeed. I also want to thank my team, because really this is a team effort, and Chloe supports the whole team.
I just love this team. It just feels like family. I was like, wow, we got invested for what I have been talking about for the last 27 years of my life. And finally somebody, and it took a fund of women to understand what we're doing here.
I'd like to thank the entire Chloe team for all that they do. I mean, this award ceremony, this pitch competition, the founders that I've had an opportunity to meet that are super amazing as well. I mean, I feel that I've really gained more friends, people that are in the fight together to help change the face of energy and help change the face of climate. So I'm super excited, and I want to thank Chloe for bringing all this together.